Hi friends, my name is Ricardo. Glad to know you. Nice to meet you. Today I want to play with PHP. You certainly know this language. Before I continue, I want to ask you to open your text editor. We are having fun with PHP. I before we continue, let me introduce properly. My name is Ricardo and I live in Asia. Some of you may live in America, United States, and other parts of country. Right now I'm working in a software. I'm working in software industry, and well, I mainly code with PHP, but not limited to JavaScript too, and yeah, mostly those two language I play around. And maybe why don't we while we're talking, why don't we just prepare our text editor. I'm going to use plain PHP. PHP is kind of powerful language even if without using framework, and I hope you gain you find any value from this video. uh, Before I'm sorry if you find my talking is a bit too much. I still I'm still used to I'm still trying to talk English fluently. English is not really my first language, but I hope you understand. And if you don't, please contact me at my email sawir.ricardo@gmail.com. Okay. Well, okay. Usually I have a personal folder here. Most of them are experimental apps I created while in my while I have free times. Why don't we make a new folder called today? As of this recording is 2020 November 16, if I'm correct. Yes, that's correct. It's Monday here, and we're going to make a login form. Some of you may find this apps very niche. I hope that spells correctly. Yeah, usually people directly create index.php. Well, I also like this way, but for the purpose of this video I will use public, and we'll move our index.php inside the public folder. Oh, you may ask why. Firstly, it's because when I put these apps in my hosting later, in the future, you will find I will direct all access to this folder, and usually when I put index.php here and I put another folder here, I put another vendor here, and mostly I have to create an htxs file here, and I will have to write this, and each folder I have to write this, and that's a very repetitive task, and and other and and if I don't, if let's say I forgot to put .htaccess, later I can access the file like this. Okay, it's not working yet, but let's say I want to access like this, and let's say this is your file.php, and this is very very concerned in the security practice. It's a very bad practice, and you should not really use this. Okay, so let's okay, and while in the hosting, you will point your access server to this folder only, and while in this folder I will, usually this is very okay, like this, cd public and php. I start the server here and yeah, blank, really my favorite while coding. I love to see white space first, just because, well, it's kind of okay. Ooh, nice, right? Nice. And we'll see the VS Code here login. By the way, I want to talk about your editor. I don't really mind if your editor is different with mine, and sorry, and my handphone, and I think text editor is very opinionated. I mean, all editor is good for you as long as you are comfortable using it. I myself am very comfortable with this editor, VS Code. Okay, and today, before we continue, some people may, depending on their experience, they have some kind of mental model of how the applications should be structured. Maybe you have a year of experience in software, maybe you are in your 5th, or maybe you just starting out. That's okay. I plan to make this video for a beginner, but it's very welcome for you who are already more experts than me. It's okay. And okay, depending on your experience, you may know how to structure the app, whether you structure it in your mind or you have to write it down. It's very depending on your situation and how you want to work. And for the purpose of this video, I will try to write, although I usually just rampage the folder. I kind of, yeah, just create, and without the what do you say, the border, without, yeah, I don't really think about it though. I try to use everyday English here. If you don't understand and which point I don't speak clearly, or you don't know, wait, what do you mean, Ricardo? You can give me a feedback. Okay, so this is mostly how framework works, and we're going to start. Okay, we're going to define our apps path first here. I forgot, but okay. This is why echo is very useful here. I don't know their name their points to, so let's just okay, wrong. What's this? Include once fail to open stream. Yeah, of course. Okay, we're in the root directory. By the way, maybe you ask why I use directory separator. It's because I'm right now in Linux, and directory separator, if you are in Linux, you may see like this, but if Windows, they will be informed like this. Nah, imagine if I going to develop this in Linux and I going to push this code in the production. I have to change all the trailing slashes. And PHP has this constant variable called directory separator, very useful. Please use it in your work, okay? But please don't forget, this is only for server, and I mean it's just for when you are including files, or but if you are going with URL this path, it has to be trailing slashes. Don't use this, okay? It will be error. Okay, that's intermezzo from me. Okay, it's cool. Oh yeah, I was going to declare a strict types. It's just to help me create a what do you say, for C developer. They may know why this is useful. Yeah, because if you want to define a function and it has a string return, well, you should return string, okay, and don't return null or return numbers, integers. And that's for me, it's for my better future self. Okay, let's don't waste any time. We're going to create our bootstrap.php. Yeah, and this is where the fun begin. Okay, echo hello world to see this works. Okay, nice. Okay, so what we're going to build is a login form, and we're going to build a login form HTML. We're going to make the back end. We're going to build the database, a simple database. We're going to use SQLite3 or maybe MySQL. I don't know, I haven't decided, but maybe we're going to use SQLite for the purpose of simplicity. But both of them are relational database. If you haven't heard of, please search, or later I may talk about it more, but not in this video. But they are the same kind of database, relational database. The backend, the login form, this is maybe called front end, but let me get this straight. When maybe I will put a minimal styling for the form, as because this is not the focus of the video, and we're going to the back end, the database simple, and we're also okay, I think that's it. Maybe if later your idea. Okay, so for the login form, why don't we create a view? Maybe you may know or not know about this, but I also like to kind of separate, not really MVC, model view controller paradigm. You may or may not know about MVC. MVC stands for model view controller. Here I don't really use MVC, although I do separate between the, like this, I do separate the front end, the back end, the database, but well, it's just for me to better organize my app. And why don't we say this login.php, and here you, depending on your text editor, I have mine already snippeted, and login HTML. Okay, nice. And yeah, let's see, form. In the form, oh yeah, if you haven't known, login form consists of form, and there is input, text, username, password, and why don't we see yeah, forgot to include it. Depending on your application size, I usually like to create a function for this, and let's say we call it view, and this is, I will going to say str path, and here we're going to include once, just like that, apps path, then view, for app view login.php, and it's really not like this. If you have known Laravel or you have worked with a PHP framework before, maybe this function is invoked like this. Let's say you are going to include login, then login.index, and here's what is happening inside the function. I will, oh yeah, maybe you ask why do I include str, and later you will see me like this in var or r retro. Maybe try to guess what I'm doing here. Okay, have you guessed? If you have guessed, yeah, you're correct. I'm defining the type of this variable. This is very you may say this is very old school way, but this is very helpful if you are working with old legacy code where they don't really use type hint or like this. This is a very new considered new, although not very new. Okay, this function will not result anything, so I type void for the result. Not really going to return anything. Later at the point we're going to use string and in and so on. Okay, back again. str path str replace. So yeah, do you know why I put it like this? Okay, so let me explain these functions, what this function does. This function is going to this function will work like this. I'm going to use it like this: login and index. Login will be the folder in this view folder. This is including app, view, then the path to the file, and this is login index. You can use it, and this is why there are people who use it like this, and that's why I put it like this. This will in turn will convert to dot first, and while in dot convert to directory separator. This is like this, and this is how well, easily for Laravel behind the scene. And when I put it like this, that's okay, we're going to add login here, and yeah, move login index. And why don't we see it in action? Yeah, this is the form. Not really login form. Yeah, and input submit login. Okay, and this is our HTML without the styling. And while we're at it, why don't we style? I'm going to use bootstrap here. Bootstrap, and you may ask, there are also other frameworks. I don't really, it's depending on your situation. You can use it, and there is a framework called Tailwind. I like that CSS framework too. You can also try it. Tailwind CSS, very helpful CSS. You can all kind of bootstrap, but they have different purpose. And for this video, we'll use bootstrap. Okay, and this is how let's see. Usually I do this for copy HTML, and you know what? Yeah, cool. Though I don't really, this is just for the purpose of this project. I don't really want to force you to do complex things in the beginning. I just want to make this fun for you, I hope. And okay, not okay, we have to include the file, and they are yeah, like this. By the way, if you have any questions or any confusion you have while watching this video, why don't you send me a feedback? And yeah, okay, we're almost okay. They have some kind of extension CSS, and we should copy paste that. By the way, I don't really okay there. I put the style directly in the HTML for the purpose of simplicity, but in production app you may want to separate the file, let's say in the public, where you put script here, or depending on your situation may differ from me, but just for this video I will put it in the body so we can get it fast. Okay, here we go. Cool. We have email address, my email my email gmail.com. You know what, I think this is some kind of fun when you're going to play with input. Yeah, this is working. Okay, and as a matter of fact, you know why I prefer this. You may ask for a beginner, maybe you think why I don't use the index HTML and like any other tutorial. That's because I want to add a PHP code inside the HTML. Okay, and I just want to echo that. Yeah, this function is PHP built-in function, and this will help me to yeah, kind of give credits. And okay, I don't really need to remember me first. Let's uncomment that. And okay, cool. And okay, I usually add functions here to separate the functions. Don't forget to add the PHP tag. It is inspired by working with WordPress. In their dim folder they have a file called functions.php, which is well, storing functions. And Bootstrap here is for me just kind of a gateway to the app folder here from the public index. And let's build app.php, and here we're going to include that. Oh yeah, don't forget join directory separator appspath app.php, and there you go. Now we're going to play most of the app here. By the way, I have to add checklist. This is, well, partially done. Later we're going to back and forth from the backend to the login form.